Collective, hey, what is going on? Welcome into the channel. So happy to be here with you this morning. Always, my name is Deborah, owner of Purusha Holistic Wellness, and this is another episode of Purusha Intuitive, where we're going to look into the energy around our health, our well-being, mind, body, soul, via the tarot, astrology, any channeled messages that come through. And I'll also incorporate Ayurvedic or holistic wellness practices that can really help us enliven, strengthen, align with our optimal wellness. So let's get into it. Good morning. Happy Saturday morning. I hope that things are going well for you in your world always. We just entered into Leo season, and I like Leo season because it does really help us connect with and empower self. Fire energy helps us put our best sense of self first. It is our innate charisma, that proverbial inner light that attracts people, dynamic situations to us. And I feel like this is much needed because Cancer season definitely was a little heavy on the emotional front. It brought up a lot, and there still are things that are being recognized, realized. Before I was starting, as I was preparing for this reading, I was hearing you're connecting the dots. Whether things are playing out in real time or past experiences are coming up in memory, I feel like you're seeing things at a different angle, at a different level, a level that's actually helping you empower yourself. Some of it might not be fun things to look at, but I'm hearing even in the places where there is challenge, it's not a challenge. You're not seeing it in the way of defeat, as though like now I'm put down or back into victim mode, etc., whatever that looks like for you. It more has this energy of being able to recognize and realize and then using that information to overcome. And that's exactly what we get with this transition from Cancer season into Leo season. We're going to have Saturn go direct, Mercury just went direct, and Saturn is about to go into retrograde in a few days, tomorrow actually. So Saturn in Aries is that representation of work on self. It's where, yes, we need to understand that, of course, dynamics, people we involve ourselves in, etc., those need to be paid attention to. And yeah, they might be directly contributing to whatever you're navigating in your life, the challenges, the difficulties, etc. But having that awareness is going to help you differentiate how much time, energy you want to give to people, situations, if it's even worth your investment. And especially when we're talking about health and well-being, because that is the strongest foundation we can set for ourselves to be the most successful version of ourselves. Yes, I understand other people make it to the top in, bad ways, naughty ways, I should say. But that, the truth comes out. Everyone has their day. Sorry, not to be so bleak. I'm just kind of talking about like real authentic success within self on all different levels. The baseline of that, the foundation of that is how well we take care of ourselves, how healthy and well we are. Otherwise, it gets complicated and things get in the way. Or we do put ourselves in situations where we become a doormat or subservient or overbearing or trying to control everything. There's a myriad of ways it can present itself. And so Saturn in retrograde really reminds us to take a beat. Yes, you can point the finger at whomever you want to. That's totally fine. But at the same time, making sure to take accountability and responsibility for what you can control. Because that is where we're getting the most empowerment right now as well. And especially with that energy of connecting the dots or maybe uncovering some truths, seeing things that you didn't necessarily see before, that can be very humbling. It can bring up a lot of emotion with it. And I feel like we are supposed to acknowledge, yes, sit in the motion to some capacity, but then get up and move forward, i.e. that Leo energy, because there are people and situations that want to connect with you, that want to be with you, that want to help strengthen and support as you would do for them, so that it can be the best experience, right? The best relationship, the best, helping people thrive. I was just watching this little clip on this show called Portlandia. It's one of my favorites. It's a comedy sketch. It's funny. Maybe not everyone's vibe, but I really like it. They're funny actors on it. And they were just kind of talking about how they started that whole thing by just hanging out with each other and doing funny comedy sketches together and whatnot. And before they were even trying to make it a thing, they were just coming together and doing something because they both had a shared love, a shared interest, and a shared respect for one another. And that's really where, when we're tapping into those relationships and dynamics, that's where it helps our life thrive 100%. But also it encourages us to take better care of ourselves, to be better versions of ourselves, right? To level up, essentially. Versus the people and dynamics that are just kind of constantly putting us down, dragging us down, dead weight, toxicity, unhealthy patterns, etc. So all that to say, a little long intro, but I'll start off with an energy cleansing just to set the tone, set the vibe for the reading, cleanse out those places we might feel blocked or limited. It's a really good time to set your own intention for the reading as well, especially if you do have something on your heart or mind that you would like Spirit to deliver messages to you around. Definitely give that over, be open to receive. I also offer a variety of healing and wellness services. Readings are one of them. If you want me to look at your specific situation, how it's faring, where it's headed, or if you're interested in a realignment of self, your mind, your body, your soul, I do pranic energy healing, as well as Ayurvedic or holistic wellness consultations. Because when we are, like I've been talking about for the past 5 minutes, when we are aligned in self, that's really where the best parts of us shine through, and I would love to help support that. Hey, Marlene, good morning. Good to see you. Sending all the love and good vibes your way always. I hope you're well. So glad you're here. Yeah, so when we're aligned in self, like I said, that's when we're the most successful versions, and I would totally love to help support you in that in whatever way possible. Definitely hit me up. All the info to get into contact with me is in the description box below. I'm working on my website. Hopefully it will be up and running soon. I have some new, actually someone has directed me on how to use AI, which I'm going to try it out. We'll see how far I get, or what happens, I should say. But yeah. So until then, just drop me an email. All right, let's get into it. This is a little bit of a slow burn this morning. We had a slow burn yesterday too with Sagittarius's reading. Ooh, okay, my bad. It's slow, but it's spicy. All right, let's get into it. I bless you with pure love and light, pure source energy, pure loving grace. I release anything that is not for your highest and best. Any fears, doubts, insecurities, lack of worth, lack of value, pain, anger, frustration, impatience, overwhelm. Cleanse it and release it from our being, so may see and understand the messages clearly. Help to make me a clear and open channel for the collective. Thank you, Father God, Spirit guides, guardian angels, Mama love. All right, so I'm feeling like some anticipation or expectation in your energy. It feels like you're waiting to see some type of results. I feel like, especially on the health and wellness front, sorry, I've been tripping up a lot over my words, so please excuse me, but especially on the health and wellness front, I feel like things are like, you're content, you're at peace with a certain level of where you stand right now. Maybe you're waiting on some test results or waiting on some type of feedback as it relates to your health. But I'm also hearing like there is an element of strength that you're working from. You feel put together, like you feel like you are embodying. Again, I still feel like there is a slight disconnect between how we want things to look and what the reality is. But in that, you're not letting things veer you off course. This makes a lot of sense with the messages that I was channeling first thing, the regrets, the things that you are starting to connect the dots around. This makes a lot of sense with all the planets we have in retrograde. And Saturn, Neptune, Pluto, they're going to be in retrograde till towards the end of the year. So we have a few months of this energy is what I'm getting at. It does have a tendency to slow things down. It does have a tendency to bring things up, things that we might not feel so proud of, or things that do need some extra love, that need some extra insight and understanding. Especially in those places where you find yourself judging yourself or getting hypercritical or, beating yourself up, whether that, verbally, hopefully not physically, mentally, emotionally. We all do it to some capacity, right? There is this vibe of shoulda, woulda, coulda if things had gone, but it's not. It's not the nature of it. I don't necessarily see you sitting in the pain, however, or maybe you have a choice, because the energy I'm picking up around health and well-being is like, you're okay, but you could feel a little bit better in self. You're trying to not pressure self. We are moving into Leo season. Leo season gives us a little bit of arrogance and love for the ego. We need that. Those are good things. When they get out of hand, that could be a different story, right? But it's good to feel good in self. It's important to, actually, because that is what helps us attract what is authentically meant for us. And I feel like regrets it is more things of the past. It's things that maybe you can't change or can't control. And maybe you're not even trying to. But it is just the needing to process, the needing to look at it, the needing to give yourself some extra love in those spaces that maybe it was hard to. It was hard to at the time. Either you didn't acknowledge yourself or it was too painful to look at. So it was easier just to say, oh yeah, this happened, or, I experienced this, but then move along and not really. And I think sometimes when that stuff happens is it sits on the surface. And until we deal with it, it can just linger in the background. And it feels like that's definitely what some of the retrogrades have brought to light, especially Mercury in retrograde. It was in Cancer, in a water sign. We're also going to have a full moon in Aquarius at the end of the month, which I like as well because it helps us take our own path, take a path that is authentic to self, not being so confined by other people's ideas, opinions, projections, actually taking measures into your own hands and not being afraid to take actions accordingly. And that's where I feel like this regret energy is very powerful for you this week, because it's highlighting the places, it's allowing change to happen. It feels more like a cleansing and a purification of the old so that you can release and you can move forward. And you do have more wisdom to move forward with, especially with this message to pass on. Because I feel like it's the wisdom that you've gained that's allowing you to be more balanced, to be more aligned in self, but also giving yourself the opportunity to level up, to grow, to expand. Because it feels there's this underlying theme of power and empowerment, not just empowering yourself, but I'm feeling more strength from your energy. I think I was talking about this last week. The reads have just been a little bit better, like even the places where there is difficulty and challenge. The energy overall has been like, I got this. I can do this. And it feels like you're making choices. Some of them do feel difficult with this message of guidance. Like, I feel like these are things that you do have to promise yourself in the future. Maybe even some like rules or guidelines that you want to live by, so that you're not dipping back into an energy that you don't want to be a part of. And some of this might get tested. I've been picking up this energy a lot of like, where even the good things right now, we want to hold on to lightly. Good opportunities, investments that come our way. Yes, get excited. Yes, invest in it, but also maintain a sense of autonomy. And I feel like this is giving you space to process through what you need to process through. But it's also helping you hold on to your power, the power that you do have. Not spreading yourself too thin, not putting yourself in vulnerable positions that might not be understood or well received. Because it feels like even the action steps that you're taking for within self, moving forward, your mind, your body, your soul, and then how it plays out in real time for you in your day-to-day living. It's coming from spirit more than anything else. This is like your own intuitive guidance, your own interpersonal connection, or your connection with a higher power, whatever that looks like for you. It's not stuff that the world is made of. That's what I'm hearing, right? Like, you know, the world is a very messy place. Good, bad, right or wrong, whatever. There's a lot of, you know, a lot of sadness, a lot of pain, a lot of suffering, but there's a lot of beauty. There's a lot of magic. There's a lot of, you know, powerful things that happen that remind us that we can align and connect with that. That's another tangent, but sorry. So what I'm hearing is it's like I think maybe even just like how you're leveling up in your own life, you're connecting with more of the spiritual side of things, or your own empowerment, however you want to see that, or that religious higher power. It doesn't have to be religious. Sorry, it can be spiritual. Sorry, I'm trying to be politically correct. But in that value that it's helping guide you, it's helping direct you. And I feel like these are commitments that you do have to make to self, that, like I said, they do feel like they're going to be tested along the way, as is everything. It's not anything new under the sun. But it's also maybe in exchange for what's coming your way, in a way of preparation. This is like really powerful energy. Messages of freedom. Yeah. Like you're freeing yourself from whatever these regrets are. Hey, Namira, good morning. Love and blessings to you, girl. I hope you're doing well today. So good to see you. Happy Saturday. Yeah, but I really love this energy because it's definitely this vibe of like freeing yourself from things. Yes, the cliche is it no longer serves you. It's not meant for you anymore. But it's also the burden. It's also the strain. It's also the stress. And you're doing so, and I feel like because of the way that you are approaching it from that space of authenticity, spiritual alignment. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. I receive all the blessings, Amir. I appreciate it. I mean, it's good vibes around all the way. I was going to say I definitely need it. I always need it. We always need good vibes, right? But things are well, actually. Things are going really well on my end. And I hope they are going well for you, too. I appreciate you always. But yeah, I think it's because of the connections that you're making, or because of those commitments that you're making to self. It's not feeling so hard. And I do feel like there is, I mean, it's actually a really beautiful energy. I'm picking up just a lot of you're protected, not only protected, that's not the right word, but it's like you are being guided, you are being directed, but your path is protected along the way as well, right? Like you have that spirit, angel, protection, crossed over loved ones, however you resonate with that value. And it's like, I can see like I can see this hand guiding you, right? Or like actually I'm seeing like two hands pushing you in a certain direction, and you're not begrudging. It feels foggy, it feels uncertain, it feels unclear. And that was that energy that I was picking up in the very beginning, like waiting for the next thing to happen, or how is everything going to shake out. It's less of a pushing your own agenda, and it's more about allowing things to naturally unfold and align with you. Okay, so in our blocked energy, I'm not surprised, loss. It feels like it's just the nature of the beast right now. Cancer season was very watery, very emotional. It brings up a lot of emotions. And even sometimes the transition between seasons can be a little volatile, especially with water and fire energy, because they kind of play off of each other. Someone gets too emotional, someone gets pissed off, someone takes it personally. You know, it can be very intense, right? Or even just within self, like how much emotions can dictate and guide how we do take care of ourselves. Are we getting up? Are we, honoring our daily routine? Are we treating our body with love and care? And I'm not saying you have to be a robot. Like, I don't really believe in that. And Ayurveda is all about the happy medium, the golden medium. There's also this value of Satmya, which is all about like nostalgia, the things of old that resonate for you, that might not be the most healthy thing, but it might be healthy for you as a person, as an individual, because it's like ingrained in your being. For me, that's coffee. When we were young, my dad was giving us coffee. I loved coffee time, even as like a 3-4-year-old child. And coffee is a little taboo in the health and wellness world. Some people think it's fine, some people don't. Ayurveda is not a huge proponent of it, but I don't know that I will ever leave it behind. I've gotten myself down to drinking decaf, and that's huge for me. So, but we all have those things. And why I'm bringing up that point is like, this is about honoring self. I mean, yes, there is kind of this like purification component to the energy, in the way that we want to try to make sure we're staying in alignment as much as possible right now. Honoring whatever our wellness path is, whatever you're really trying to ascribe to, that definitely should be the baseline. Even if like you're trying to get better at your exercise routine and you miss a day, that's okay. But if you're like missing 5 days, maybe try to find some motivation, or that's where like that emotional component that I was just talking about with the Cancer season can definitely play a detrimental role, because it can get easy to feel bad, or, lay in bed and doom scroll, or whatever it may be, And I think it's like, here's the thing. I think that I feel like that's kind of where that connecting the dots comes into play for you. It's what you're seeing. It's what you're understanding about a new space of life, or a shift in a certain area of your life. I know. You're so right, Namira. She recommends drinking coffee and water. You are very right, and I totally agree with you. I also drink a lot. I should say like a lot of coffee and a lot of water. And it's really interesting because in your Ayurveda, they have this idea, like that there are channels in our systems where everything flows, right? And that we can actually oversaturate the channels when things just go right through your body. And so I know, sorry, this is my little like health and wellness tangent, but I feel like that's kind of where I can be a little naughty, is drinking too much water and too much coffee, because I'm just constantly trying to compensate, because I do drink a lot of coffee. But no, you are so right. And that is very wise advice, everyone, coming from Mira. I love that. Thank you, girl. Namira, I appreciate it. All right, let's get into the tarot. Let's see how this is playing out in real time. Oh, okay. Okay. Oh, nice. I don't know. Okay. I'll have to look at that. Okay. I don't know what that is. Coffee shop, Uda Bader. All right. I'll look into that, definitely. Thank you for the suggestion. I appreciate it. I know. And that's what I need help with more, is just being a little more balanced. But I appreciate it. And thank you. I actually received that just as like that gentle reminder from Spirit, Deborah, the happy medium. All right. So 4 of Pentacles, self-protection. There might be a little, some of your energy that feels like it needs to self-protect, right? Or especially with some of this stuff that is coming up, some of the regrets, some of the places that the loss is resurfacing. I'm hearing it is really important to be gentle with self, but also making sure that we're not getting too self-protective. Not everyone, I love that. I'm going to finish this thought. Not everyone is going to understand. Not everyone is always going to be on board with you, right? And that's okay too. Everyone kind of functions at their own pace, at their own rate. And I love what Namira said. She said, it's like your body knows what it needs. And that's so true. And that I love that about Ayurveda too. It really ascribes to that belief that your body is going to tell you exactly what it wants and needs. I mean, and yes, there is like some buffer room around that. The chemicals and all the stuff that's in the processed foods and the addictive sugars and salts and MSGs and all that stuff, that's obviously not great, right? Like we can still crave those things. But then actually Ayurveda would look at it as like that's actually the toxins within our body that are craving those more negative things. And that's I'm interested that comes up, because this is an energy, this is a message of cleansing, of purification, of kind of keeping on the happy medium road, 6 of Wands. This card has been coming up for us a lot lately. And I've been using multiple decks, but we're getting a lot of, like everyone, it's definitely Leo energy. Everyone's standing in their own empowerment, their own success. 9 of Cups, you're in a place where like things are good. And I love it. I love how it's depicted on this card, because it does look like an offering to Spirit, however you align with that. You know, I'm not trying to push any type of spirituality or religion or whatever, but it definitely has, I mean, I'm assuming if you're watching tarot, there's some of that within your life. And it feels like it definitely has this energy of I'm giving in a way that is expectant to receive what is owed, what is due to you. It is an exchange of the pure essence. Like I'm hearing like power and like spirit and the pure essence of who you are. It's in an exchange in the most honorable and revered way, if that makes sense. I hope it does. But it feels like what you are giving is very powerful, or the way that you are giving into self. It has honor, it has respect with it. And it is making certain people and dynamics pull away. We have the 6 of Wands and the 8 of Pentacles in your external energy. 8 of Pentacles is in the blocked energy. Something refusing to get on board with where you're at. Someone doesn't have the same respect for what you are doing, the way that you are showing up, or is like pulling back their energy from you, seeing the results. Like there might be regrets across the board, but it feels like the energy around you, instead of having a conversation or working things out or whatever this looks like, it's more like, no, I'm just going to pull my energy back and not deal with. And I think, again, we still get this very focused energy within you this week. Even though things are playing out around you, you're not letting it distract self. Life Renewed is in your blocked energy. It's the Judgment in the traditional deck. This is something that's keeping you confined to this space. it almost feels like there's an element of limitation, or maybe like you feel restricted. Like I keep doing the right thing and there's no results, or the results that I'm getting are like not in alignment with the type of effort I'm putting forward. Like almost like you should be getting more. And I agree with that. I feel that energy for you. And it can be really hard when we're not getting our due and someone else is just, or something else is just doesn't care, like very selfish, very self-focused. And I think, to some capacity for you, it is a realization. It's a realization on what certain realities are and how that directly affects you. Whether this is someone, something actually doing something to you, or this is more just like things that you're working out within your own self. Places where you might need to be more aware that certain adjustments do need to be made, i.e. that Saturn in retrograde. We'll clarify that though as well. Because I'm almost hearing this as, or I am hearing this as like, it's something that is just, it's almost like you're stuck. It's keeping you stuck. There's that Four of Pentacles. It's keeping you stuck, and it's putting you in a space where you're feeling very vulnerable. Or maybe like you do have to protect your resources is also what I'm hearing. We have the Fool. Okay. Interesting. Let's clarify this because this is a really interesting energy. You feel really committed to whatever you are doing for self. And like I said, it is paying off. It's not necessarily a bad thing. I feel like it's, in some ways, it's like the only choice or option that you've had. I mean, I'm sure you've had other options, but like, it feels like this is something that you like have to commit to. That you have to honor self around. Let's look at this Judgment, the life renewed. Okay, Queen of Cups. I think that there's just different expectations. Like, if you did A, B, and C, then there would be certain results out of that. And it hasn't come up in that way. Like maybe you had certain expectations around how people would then enact, re-engage with you, what the dynamic would be. But then all you're still seeing is more of this selfish energy. I'm hearing for some of you, it could have been like you taking on responsibility for other people's problems and issues. And then working really hard on yourself or doing things to reorient, switch yourself around, and then you're like, okay, here, I'm ready, I'm a better version. People are like, so what? I'm still gonna do what I'm still gonna do. And I feel like, if we're looking at it in relation to ourself and how that mirrors back in our health and wellness, just like I was talking about, the toxicity is going to be there. There are going to be things, we can't avoid it, right? There's so many different things that we ingest, pollutants, whatever, that are engrossing us all day, every day. We can't really, I don't think we can be toxin free. That's my opinion. Maybe that's bleak. I apologize. I don't mean it in a negative way, but just in the reality that there are always going to be things that call to us. You can call it your shadow self. You can call it the devil, you can go. And it feels like there's always going to be those things that we do have to empower ourselves to overcome. And toxicity, unhealthiness, unhealthy patterns is a selfish energy. It's an energy of putting self first. And you're not, or being in that dynamic or showing up in that dynamic, whatever that means to you, however that worked out for you, it wasn't working. It wasn't working at all. And that's why you're being so committed to whatever you're growing and building for yourself. And appropriately so, I would say, right? Because when, again, going back to the very beginning, when we're talking about our health and wellness, that's what we have to set the stage, to set the groundwork for success. And it is paying off. It's paying off. But the responses that you're getting from outside sources, individuals, it's not how you anticipated it to be. And Not even saying that you were necessarily doing it for other people. I don't get that vibe. But I do see it as an expectation that things would look a little bit different if you chose a certain path. I don't think it's completely like detouring you per se. I want to clarify this, Empress, in your environment. This is divine feminine. It often is resonating with mother or mother figure. You could be dealing with family members, people who, okay, we got 9 of Swords. We got the Temperance. Someone's having a hard time maintaining control, and there's that 4 of Pentacles. Someone's having a hard time like maintaining control within themselves. You know, I think that this is an energy that wants a different response out of you. It looks like instead of giving this energy what they want, you're actually going into this self-protection mode. And it's helping a different perspective come to light in the dynamic, which I think is important. I think it's appropriate. I think that you're continuing to keep your eye focused on, again, I don't see a lot of distractions, a lot of external distractions coming your way this week. And I think that's a good thing. I feel like it's giving your heart space to heal, to mend, to release some of the regrets, some of the burdens. But I think because you're giving that to yourself, you're giving yourself the space that you need. That's very hard for someone else. Or that's a stress point for them. They're like, well, why is collective doing that? You know, shouldn't they be coming to me or talking to me about it? Or someone doesn't like that they're not as involved as what they used to be. But again, I'm seeing this as an underlying of your power, the power that you're taking back for self. And it also is shedding light onto whomever, whatever this is, and the way that they operate. Especially this feels more like a maternal or an older figure in your life, or maybe something that you were reliant on for a certain amount of wisdom, and you're just not going to them anymore as a source of knowledge. It could even be like a professional, like if you were working with a physical therapist or a doctor or whatever. It could even be like a professional that like maybe has gotten you so far, but now you're at a point where it's like, no, I'm not, there's something else that you need, that you know is individualized to you, that 9 of Cups. Ayurveda is all about, yes, it is a system of health and wellness, but it's also speaking to our individual needs because we're all different. We're all unique. Our wants and needs, just like Namira pointed out, are completely different. Mine are different than yours and vice versa, right? And no one is good, better, right, wrong. You know, it's actually just like we all have different makeup. And I'm seeing this as an evolution, a strengthening and an evolution in your character, in your wisdom, in yourself. And that's hard for certain people to let go of. That's also where this reality check is coming into play for you, where the response isn't as positive as you wanted it to be. Again, something that I don't think it's throwing you off per se. Yes, so true, Namiro. Thank you for that, girl. Okay, there's that Hangman again. I think the self-protection is kind of a good thing. Let me look at this, though. The Hangman comes up when we need to force a new perspective. And I feel like that perspective is very imperative or important to whatever this message of freedom is. Whatever freedom comes from this, it's the Fool, it's new beginnings, and it does feel like something completely closing out. This feels like a drawn out dynamic. This feels like a dynamic that is ready to close its chapter. Maybe that's where this stress, anxiety is coming from with the Empress energy. 8 of Pentacles. And the King of Cups. Oh, there's our Empress. It just feels like things were, I don't know. I don't know if you, if there's been some miscommunication or misinterpretation, but the offenses or whatever's taking place, it looks like something cannot be salvaged because everybody is seeing it from a different perspective and no one's willing to kind of shift and understand, or if one party is, another party's not. It feels like it's a sensitive subject. It feels like it's something that can't be salvaged. And I don't think that's a bad thing. Yes, obviously, and maybe I'm hoping it's not horrible for you because I know that grief and loss is not a fun thing to go through. But I'm not seeing this as an unexpected, something happens that's totally throws you off course. I'm seeing this more as a grieving of a situation that has run its course and it's about to putter out. It's something that feels like, as you have been so committed to self, to the way that you are building and strengthening your energy, your care, your love of self, it's just naturally separating the things that don't align with you anymore. And yes, there is pain, there is disappointment, there is someone or something that's feeling the effects of that, and maybe in a way that they don't want to, but also there's not much being done about it. Or it's just like there might be a lot of wants and desires for how things are going to pan out, but it's just like not happening is basically what it's showing up. And again, it's just because of shortcomings, or that's the way it's meant to pan out. And like I've said many times, it's not like you're letting this energy detour you because you're familiar enough with it to continue to strengthen and empower yourself forward. Continue to stay focused and committed. Knowing when you do have to backtrack, knowing when you do have to protect self. Yes, I think certain realizations come up in the midst of that, but it also feels like there's a lot of time that is, a lot of life that has happened that puts you in the place that you're in right now. And you're almost at this space that I feel like you've been working really hard to be at, that it's no longer worth it to let certain things take you back down a path that you've worked really hard to be out of. I go deeper in my life. Life is an adventure. I seek wisdom in life. I transform fear into love. I accept pain, and it transforms it in wisdom. I feel like that's really beautiful. I mean, I think it's, to me, it makes a lot of sense with how this energy is showing up, because it's like you're not letting things be left at surface value. Back to that analogy, right? You're not letting it just hang on the surface, because it has created blocks. It has created obstacles. It has separated you from yourself or cultivated some level of regret and loss. And you are healing that. You've actively put in energy, effort to heal it, to grow beyond it, to be better than it. And it's showing and it's paying off. And yes, it might be difficult for certain people to understand or see or get on board with, but it's because you're not afraid to go down that path. You're not afraid to go down that road and then receive the wisdom from it, so that you can also receive your wish fulfillment. That's what Nine of Cups is. Nine of Cups is our wish fulfillment. It's the dreams, it's the desires that we have for our life. And I think these are things that you've been actively working to pursue and connect with. And it is paying off, even if you're not seeing a lot of, validation of that in real time. It definitely shows that in the energy. And whatever is in your environment is definitely seeing it and feeling it too and stressing out about it. It's just that you're so zoned in to what you are doing, to making sure that you are honoring self, that it might feel like, you know, I'm hearing that like it's the difference between being so like, you know, tunnel visioned versus having that bird's eye perspective. I don't allow my emotions to control me. I don't take anything personally. Otherwise, I get confused. I don't teach others. I don't try to divert their attention for my own entertainment. I just inspire them. I leave others to express as they are. And I think that's so true, especially when we are dealing with people or outside forces that aren't understanding, that aren't giving us credit validation, or are not turning around in ways that we thought that they were, you know, if we did X, Y, and Z, or whatever that is for you. But that's okay too. Everybody has their choice. And again, it's definitely the things that are embedded with some of the grief and the loss that you are experiencing. But it's not the end of the story. It might be the end of one story, but it is the beginning of a new story. And I feel like the new story that is unfolding is more in alignment. Like I say that a lot, but it's true, right? Like that's the reason that we go through the pain and the suffering, is so that we can break free from the chains, from the limitations that bind us, that keep us constricted. It's wild, you know, and as you evolve out of some of this, the hindsight is definitely going to depict that for you. What it would have looked like had you stayed small and limited. What it would have looked like had you not invested in your health and wellness. Had you continued to put yourself in difficult, toxic, unhealthy patterns, situations, etc. I listen carefully. When I listen to others, my mind distinguishes truth from imagination. I seek the truth between the words. And it feels like this is definitely, whatever you are dealing with is definitely one of the things that you have to kind of navigate through. Sifting through what is truth and what is illusion. This definitely reflects Neptune in retrograde right now. We're also seeing this just with whatever is going on. Whatever can't be talked about or worked through or keeps, it feels definitely like a hamster wheel. Like it's something that just keeps going in the same loop over and over and over again. And maybe there is more to uncover. I don't know. But also, I'm not 100% certain it's like worth your time and energy, because it feels a little bit like it's a, not rat race, but it feels like it's a fruitless chase. Like you're not going to get anything out of it. Like nothing monumental is going to come up. It's just going to be like, oh, I just wasted all this time and energy, and this is all I got from it. Where whatever this is, whatever has the majority of your focus, or what is the life-giving energies, whether you're investing in your health, your wellness, your daily routine, your mind, your body, your soul, whatever that is connecting with that is what's syncing you up to the desires of your heart. Sorry. I know sometimes I default to these cheeseball phrases, but I do mean that, right? What you desire for self is actually enlivening with you, and in a strong way, in a powerful way, in a way that makes some other people feel a little bit nervous. Yes, there's sadness and regret that comes with that, but I think what's on the other side is way better. Look at how happy he looks. He's so pumped. And I think it is. It's like I said, the energy has definitely been picking up a lot in the reading. So embrace it, use it for your good, even if like the people that you want, that you wish, that you hope would engage in relationships and dynamics in a certain way with you, even if they can't, that's okay, right? It is the process of release. There are other people out there that want to join, that want to connect with you, that want to support you and want to have your support back. So it's a really beautiful reading. It feels a little bit like there's good and bad. I guess that's a very like blanket way to say it, but it feels like there's definitely things that are going to help strengthen and empower you and feel a little more magical and more exciting. But it means that it's keeping the focus where it ought to be. So I hope this helps. Thank you so much for your time and energy always. Thank you to everybody who showed up today. I super appreciate you all. So much love just filled my heart from exchanging, sharing with you. I hope you enjoyed the reading. Thank you. Appreciate you, Namira. Sorry. So much always. Yeah, and just thank you so much. I love building and growing the community. I think it's a beautiful thing, collective energy, when we can share, when we can just exchange in this experience and this energy together. So I so appreciate all of you who come and make that possible. Thank you for sharing your love, your energy, your blessings, and just know I'm sending love and blessings back your way always. I'll be live tomorrow evening for our weekly forecast. And until then, I hope you have a great weekend. I hope you take care of yourself, your mind, your body, your soul. And thank you. Thank you for letting me be a part of your morning. All the love, all the blessings your way. Let's talk soon. See you.